Yo bro, I had something very interesting happen to me today at work. So you know how all these self-improvement guys, the gurus, who are millionaires, multi-millionaires, like top 1%, they share a lot of the same ideas and concepts. And they repeat them quite often because, to be honest, it's not that complicated, right? They're not discovering new sciences, they're just sharing mindsets that helped them become successful. We all know that, right? Well, today at work, I got reminded of these aspects. Not by some ultra successful guy that you would expect to hear them from. It was from my coworker. And he's not very successful, man. He's a guy who works the same job as me, basically. Earns a little bit more than me. But here's the thing though. He's very fucking good at the job. He's like 4 times better than me at the job. He's incredibly smart, very concentrated, he remembers a shit ton, and he's got a very bright future in the company I work in, right? And this guy, he doesn't make that much money. Up until half a year ago, he was like a party animal beast that would get drunk and get high. Yet today, we were talking and he was like, man, do you understand how big of a chance you've been given to work at a company like this? Because to be honest, man, I'm 16 and I work at a company that's worth like fucking $50 million. I don't know. My bosses drive cars that are worth hundreds of thousands. And despite that fact, when I worked in the same job during summer, I hated my life. I was like, man, I'm being such a slave. I want to be making more money from home, recording videos. I hate working, I hate getting a job. I want to escape the matrix. And that's true, right? I don't want to continue. I don't want to live the office life. I don't want to work the employee life. But still, bro, to be able to make enough money to actually sustain yourself, to feed your fucking family, feed this little dog some quality meat, to be able to afford stuff to invest in, to learn. And doing this while in a job that's not like being a waiter or something that everyone can do. It's a very like niche job. It's like a dispatcher for trucks. I don't know if people know about this even. And this co-worker, he said some things that just felt so powerful. Because as I said before, we're used to hearing them from the successful guys, the guys who have the mindsets and everything. But when you hear it from someone in real life, someone who you meet every day, someone who you've worked together with for hundreds of hours, and he says them to you directly at your face, they just hold so much more weight, bro. And he just started talking. He was like, okay, you're 16 now. You're going to be an adult soon. Soon you can become fucking put in jail. You become responsible for your actions. You become your own person. You become like left alone, out in the fucking dark. What are you doing about it? Are you just planning on being 16 until you're 18 and suddenly you're this young adult who is completely clueless and has nothing going for him? Or do you want to actually do stuff? Are you going to understand that you decide what position you're in? Not your parents, not your siblings, not whatever the fuck you've got going on in your life. You are the one who can make the difference. You are the person who can live a 20 times more successful life 2 years from now. And you would be the one responsible for it. And you can also be the guy being a fucking loser in his early 20s. And again, you would be responsible for it. And now I know I repeated this word a lot of fucking times. But it's important, man. You and I need to understand that we are in control, bro. We've got the power. It's in our hands. And it's so much things that are out of our fucking power in life that we can't change. The truth is, the direction where we're heading, the path that we are fucking walking on, the point that we reach in our lives, all depends on us, bro. You can be at the top 1%. Good on you, you work hard. Or you can be at the bottom 1%. Your fault, man. And this is powerful. Because, sure, if you fail, it's your fault. But this also means that as long as you just do the right things, you can become a fucking winner. No matter who you are, where you're born, who gave birth to you. It doesn't matter, man. It might be harder for you if you got into those worse conditions than some of your peers, for example. But the fact that it's harder means you're gonna grow even more, man. Like, harder is kind of always better. Because imagine this. A guy gets born into a family where his parents make 10k a month. And he becomes a person who makes 100,000 a month. Not that big of a difference, right? Not that big of a epic story, like, wow. I mean, it was expected. But imagine you're born into a family that barely makes ends meet. And 5-10 years from now, you're pretty much a millionaire. Isn't that cool? Wouldn't that make you actually respect the shit out of yourself? I bet it would, right? So he talked about this, the fact that, again, your actions decide who you become. Like, you and I are the ones who can change your future, for the better or worse. Might as well change it for the better, right? And what he also talked about, just realizing that life is complicated, and realizing that at a young age, because I'll be honest, man, I've got a lot of things I'm not very good at. Like, I'm not the best socially, I don't fucking go out that much. Put me in a room with like 15 people, I would feel weird. But when I look at the guys around me who are very good socially, like, well, most of them, right? Because a lot of them actually have shit under control and they're good socially, so I look up to them, right? They're hitting the gym, they're working on themselves, and they're good at talking to people. That's great, right? That's what we want. But so many of them just, they feel like children, man. They're constantly yelling, constantly trying to be wild, to get attention, to feed their egos. Everyone just wants to be heard. It feels like they're immature, I guess. And not to say this as the guy who's, I'm different from everyone, I'm smarter than everyone, but my coworker did say that, at least for my age, right? Like, not to feed my ego, but that I'm pretty mature, I'm a decent guy. And I really appreciate that, you know? I appreciate the words he said to me because, again, hearing this shit, not on YouTube, on an hour and a half long podcasts, but from a person sitting a meter away from you, it hits different, man. And the one thing that I want to say that might separate me from a lot of people in this is, I just shut the fuck up and listened. Because the things he was saying, right, a lot of it I knew. I had heard before, I had been practicing, I have even talked about it in my videos. But even then, bro, I just let him talk. I just let him fucking talk his heart out, say the things he's been meaning to say to me for quite some time probably. And I just listened, man. I wanted to hear every piece of advice he had for me. And if I was a different person, I might have been like, oh yeah, take responsibility. Oh yeah, life is hard. I know these things. People talk about them. Do you watch Andrew Tate too? Nah, I just kept looking at my monitor that I work on, and I just thought for a while, man. It was like 30 minutes of straight like barraging, like George this, George that, George this. And I appreciate it, man. The one lesson I can summarize his entire talk into is, think for yourself, bro. Whenever you're thinking about doing something or not, the one metric that you should have in your mind is, does this improve me? Again, like legit, does this benefit me? Does this improve me? And I know a lot of people give out this advice like, if you want to become successful, don't think about yourself so much, think about others. And I'm not telling you to only think about yourself, right? Where you're stuck in your head, oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this successful, I'm that cool. But think for yourself. Have some respect for yourself. Again, whenever you're making decisions, think for yourself. Is this going to benefit me? Will this make me grow as a person? Is this good for me? And be honest with yourself. Because personally, bro, I haven't been thinking about myself. I've been thinking about like, I don't know, family, dog, bullshit. Fuck you, man. Fuck this bullshit, dog. Have some respect for yourself. Work on yourself and just grow as a person, bro. It's not gonna be easy. Life is fucking complicated. There's so much shit. It's complicated as fuck. I don't know a lot. I don't know anything. And I haven't done anything. But one thing that will for sure help is just try to understand more, man. Do things. And again, think for yourself. Take care of yourself. Bye bye, bro. Love you.